Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the C-Man, and I want to welcome you to another edition of the C-Man's Cinema Sit-Down. I think I found a decent transition to go from the last trailer we watched, which was the official trailer for F1. You want to see my reactions and thoughts about that? You can see them right up there. But now, shifting gears, F1, into potentially a different awards caliber movie. I think F1 has some awards caliber elements to it. I think it could be one of the best films of the year based on what I have seen and based on who's involved. And you jump over to this movie, and you certainly have a creator that screams awards worthy or awards bait when her name is involved, but you also got some talent on screen that could be vying as well. And I have heard a little bit of buzz for this movie possibly being in and around awards season. What are we talking about? Why don't you pull up a chair, take a seat? We are getting ready to take a look at the, I believe this is the official trailer, 2.5 minutes, for Materialists. And that creative that I'm talking about, of course, is Celine Song. And her last writing, directing outing was Past Lives, which made some awards noise and was very, very good. And the thing that I like potentially for Song is when you think about who her partner is, Justin Kuritzky's, who last year was behind the screenwriting for two of Luca Guadagnino's films, Challengers and Queer. Queer, of course, came out later in the year. Potential for the awards push. I wish that and Challengers would have flip-flopped, because Challengers, for me, was the better film. And when you think about what Kuritzky's did with Challengers, it's one of those where, I think in life, whether it's your partner or your spouse or a best friend or a family member, if there is competition in that inner circle, it can sometimes lead to pushing each other to do better things. And I think something like with what happened for Celine around Past Lives maybe was the thing that pushed Kuritzky's to really nail something with Challengers. So now the response, Kuritzky's had 2 movies that he wrote last year, but now the first chance for Celine to do something after her husband did is going to be Materialists. And I'm hoping that there's a little competitive, vibe in that household of see Celine step up again. Outside of Song, though, you also have a stellar cast list in your 3 leads here: Pedro Pascal, Dakota Johnson, Chris Evans. I'm here for all 3 of them at all times. And like I said, I think those 3 working with Song hopefully turns out really good things. And our synopsis here: a matchmaker's lucrative business is complicated when she falls into a toxic love triangle that threatens her clients. That screams, when you're coming from Song, a lot of interesting things that could be at play. So like I said, I've heard a little bit of buzz teaming up with A24, who certainly knows how to give you awards worthy material, aka The Brutalist, most recently at least. But yeah, one of those things where it's cool if you are an A24 like subscriber member. They have a thing right now where, like, after you jump onto their subscription, they send you stuff. You'll get gifts, you get free tickets, and then you get access to like their close personal friends' Instagram, where they are currently holding a March Madness tournament of their own with their own films. And what's cool is the 4 regions of the brackets are 4 completely different genres of film. It's one of the things I love about A24. They give you some top-end horror. Like, I see A24 in front of a horror movie, I know that it's always a chance that it's not going to fully connect, but I'm usually going to be excited. But I certainly also feel that way with their more dramatic and awards baity type things. So I love this combo: A24, Celine Song, Evans, Johnson, Pascal. A lot of solid things working here already, and we haven't even pushed play. And the concept, I think the concept is a lot of fun. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get the trailer up for you, ready here for me, and let's see what Miss Song is bringing us with our official trailer for Materialists. Ooh, getting the needle drops. Come on.
Hey, are you single? I'm a matchmaker. Give me a call if you want to meet somebody. I deserve someone who fulfills all of my criteria.
Nothing over 20 BMI.
I don't want
Maybe
someone
that's
who
what I
likes
need to do
cats.
is find a
I'm
matchmaker.
trying to settle.
I promise you're
Not that
going
I'm
to
looking
marry
for
the love of your life.
relationships outright right now. I'm very busy, but
How many marriages are you
Struggling.
responsible for now, Lucy?
9.
ooh,
If the girl
look at you,
asks for
Lucy.
a tall drink of water with a salary over 500 grand, you deliver.
Pedro.
You want a drink?
Sure. Coke and beer.
Look at him.
Hey, buddy.
What a suave devil. Oh, Evans is already her
Definitely didn't
boyfriend.
expect to run into you tonight.
I missed you.
Yeah, you don't even remember my face.
Or ex-boyfriend.
Lucy M, the
Interesting.
eternal bachelorette.
You can do better than me.
My instincts are usually right.
I love this already.
Wow. You know how to do the math, don't you? You are what we call a unicorn. An impossible fantasy.
Of course Pedro would be a unicorn.
12 million.
What?
Not
Oh,
gonna marry
she
him, right?
nailed the jackpot.
Because he's good looking and rich. Probably doesn't have roommates.
Is that my charger?
When I see your
Oh,
face,
heavens.
I see wrinkles and children that look like you. So where does that leave us?
What are you thinking about?
I don't think I'm very good at my job anymore.
We promised them love.
But the math doesn't add up.
Why does anyone even get married?
Because they're lonely. And because they're hopeful.
I'm turning 48, and I think I need to meet someone more grown.
I have a really beautiful client. She's 31.
I wasn't really thinking
More grown.
30s.
That's fun. Look, I'll say this. I think on paper, like this type of a movie doesn't scream awards chatter. I think it falls into those rom-com type movies that, are fun. They're light. They have, a little bit of tension. Good for a date night. But I think the difference here is, one, A24 getting behind a movie like this, and two, Celine Song. And I really look forward to seeing what Song has to say about relationships in a movie that's based in relationships, right? You have a matchmaker. You have, a matchmaker who's good at matching other people, but not finding matches herself. Again, it's one of these things where, like, story beat wise, we've seen this in rom-coms before with love triangles, but I think while you're going to get some of those elements, Song is going to give us something that's got more depth than some of those rom-coms. So seeing what she has to say about relationships where your main character is someone who can put them together but can't maintain them herself. And the idea of finding the quote-unquote unicorn, love that that's Pedro Pascal. One of these where, like, Pascal's, dipping his toe into horror and, action-y things, and I love that for him. But to see him come and play in, like, the rom-com romantic lead category, something I really dig for him. And then, like, you meet that guy and you go, oh my gosh, like the unicorn, he's rich, he's good looking, he's smart, he's sophisticated, he can take care of me. He clearly if you're going out more than once, he probably can hold a conversation. He's interesting, all of these things. And then when he asks you what you want to drink, and she's like, Coke and a beer, and a ex-lover or maybe somebody that, like, you spent time with, I can't quite tell where they know each other from. Maybe college, maybe just out of college, maybe before she got into the matchmaking thing. But at some point in time, she had either a relationship or a fling with this guy, and he sees her and knows what her drink order, like that setup was so good. But the idea of that coming in and disrupting right at the gate, right? Like at the start of what could be something good, you also run into something from your past. And that person seeing that opportunity of, like, I ran into you again, I'm not going to let that go. And he's the complete opposite of the unicorn, right? Living with roommates, working probably paycheck to paycheck if he's bartending or wait servicing, right? So like the complete polar opposite, but Chris Evans is also extremely charming. Knows like that line, like when I see you, I see wrinkles and kids that look like you. Like he can see the whole picture and is the underdog in this type of a story that knows her. And while Pedro's getting to know her, like how that give and take and seeing how Song is going to play with that, I think is going to be really interesting. And then what you're just getting from Evans, Johnson, and Pascal looks top end. Like I said, I love the idea of seeing Pascal as a romantic lead, playing the unicorn, being super suave and debonair, rich, all the things that just say, how could you say no? I love that for him based on what we typically are getting with Pascal recently, career-wise. So I think that'll be a fun kind of different stroke for him. And then flop that for Evans too. Like he's the guy who usually would be, I mean, well, I guess he's a little bit of all of it, right? But, you know, I feel like he's typically not the underdog in these stories, right? If Evans is showing up in a romantic lead role, you're probably going, he's the unicorn. So I think there's interesting stuff for him to play with as being, you know, maybe the person you could say is a deadbeat or a loser or not quite, you know, like, yeah, he's got the looks and the charm, but everything else in his life doesn't seem to be well put together. Really fun things for those two, and having Dakota Johnson be in the middle feels like a stroke of genius. I think she's somebody who can play with those elements very well. She, you know, is someone that can carry a movie and be your lead. And considering the last thing I saw Dakota Johnson in was Madam Web, and I don't hold her responsible for that disaster. It's exciting to see her in a movie that hopefully has a lot of potential. So yeah, look, Materialists could just be a nice light rom-commy romance flick. But when you look at what's in play here, I think there's going to be more than what we're seeing. But it certainly looks like it's going to have fun, it's going to have some comedy, and it's going to have heart. And those are all things that I look for in films in general. And certainly, you know, if somehow by the time this comes out, you know, maybe I have an opportunity to take someone on a date, this looks like a great date night movie. So yeah, I think I'm excited about what's working here, and I can't wait to see what we get with Materialists. The question is, what about you? Do you think that this movie could possibly create any awards chatter? Like I said, on the surface, it doesn't seem to be one of those types of movies, but someone like Celine Song, I think it's going to give you some depth in whatever is going on there. So what vibes are you getting coming out of this trailer? And regardless of that, do you think this is a movie that you would want to go see? Is this something that you think would be enjoyable? Would it be a good date night movie? Maybe it won't be a good date night movie. Love triangles, maybe not the best route to go. But what's working here? What are you most excited about? Do you think the comedy beats or the dramatic and romantic beats are hitting? Do you like this cast? Do you think Celine Song is going to bring it, especially after her partner had at least one movie last year that really hit hard for anybody that went and saw Challengers? Like, you know, that script was so good. That going to push Celine to do something that's maybe better. What are you thinking, man? Good, bad, indifferent on our official trailer for Materialists? Put it down below in the comment section. Look forward to talking to you down there. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new, you want to come hang out with the C-Man anytime. We're talking movies, TV, trailer, reactions. You want to be here to see what my thoughts are on Materialists when it comes out. Maybe you want to be here to see if the C-Man pulls a date for that movie. Probably not likely, but maybe. You just dig the general vibe. You want to show a little love and support to the old C-Man. Come join C-Maniac Nation. It's super easy. You just got to jump over there, hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell if you want those alerts. And until next time for the C-Man Cinema Sit Down, I've been the C-Man. I'm signing off. Peace!
C-Maniac Nation, you look nervous. Is it the scars? Would you like to know where I got them? No? Well, then maybe you'd like to see another video with the C-Man. How about up here or over here? And if you really dig the C-Man, well, then show him a little love right over there.